Welcome back here to East Texas. Now we're going to go ahead now and dive in here to our rodeo roundup. This week we actually got a list here from the PRCA who was posted this week for East Texas Cowboys that were named to the top 15 list headed to the National Finals Rodeo in Vegas. We're joined right now with Kincade Henry, who is out and about, and I'm sure you're still rodeoing up until December. Hey Kincade, how's it going?
It's going good. How about y'all? Thank y'all for
Good.
having me.
Good. Always glad to have you here and kind of chat about your, recent rides, obviously, and this season. How does it kind of feel coming off of the 25 season? And I know the seasons are a little different. So you have the 25 season already ended. Now you're in 26 season, but we do have the National Finals Rodeo coming up here in December. It's kind of weird to explain. Some people don't really understand how that kind of works. Can you explain that?
Yes, for sure. So, our season ends at the end of September. So, September 30th, the season ends for whatever year we're in. And then we have 2 months to prepare for the national finals. But the 2026 season also starts October 1st. So, there's not a lot of rodeos. There's a couple smaller ones that usually guys that didn't finish in the top 30 or 40 in the world try and go to. That way they can get in the winter rodeos like Denver and Fort Worth and Houston and San Antonio and stuff like that. And then there's also some that the guys that qualify for the national finals can go to. There's a handful that are big and they're good rodeos to go ahead and just uh, go ahead and go to count for the next year.
Definitely. Well, kind of coming off of the 25 season, talk about a little bit of your highlights. I'm going to kind of pop this up here for everyone to see your 2025 highlights. You won the Governor's Cup, you won the West Texas Fair and Horsehaven Roundup Rodeos, and you won San Angelo and Matagorda County Rodeos. So, talk a little bit about your season, if you would, and just kind of tell people how it felt coming off of the 25 season, headed into the National Finals Rodeo.
Yes, ma'am. I had a great year. It's the best year I've had so far, and it started off with a strong winter. I did good at all the Texas rodeos and the Texas swing. Had the best winter I've ever had, and then it seemed like the summer was a little slow. I guess average maybe. It was just I'd win for a little bit, and then we'd go through a rough patch, and win for a little bit, and then have another rough patch. But towards the end of the year, it got really good right there about the middle of August and all the way through the end of September. It was awesome, and the last 2 weeks of the season were probably the best 2 weeks of the year. I did good at Mandan, North Dakota. That's a big rodeo at the end, and then we finished up over there at Sioux Falls and got the win. So that's a huge confidence booster heading into the NFR.
Yeah, and obviously going into the NFR, do you think that there are some nerves going into the National Finals Rodeo? I know it's, the biggest thing for since sliced bread for rodeoing. Are you excited?
Yes, ma'am. I'm very excited. I don't think it ever gets old. I don't think it ever will get old. It's just the electricity in that building whenever we get to ride in there and for the grand entry and then get the rope. There's nothing that compares to it. So I'm super pumped about it. Like I said, this is the best year I've had going into the NFR. So I just want to capitalize off that and just keep on rolling.
Well, King Kate, have you ever been to the NFR before?
Yes, ma'am. So this will be my fourth year.
Okay, so previous years going to the NFR, how did you feel competing, and what was the outcome?
Yes, ma'am. My first 2 years, I felt I had great. My first year, I had a great NFR. My second year was a pretty good NFR, and then last year, we did not have the results that we were looking for at all. It was honestly terrible. So, for the last 300 days, that's all that I can think about is just getting back in that build and getting back in the Thomas and Mack and competing. Because last year it didn't go the way we wanted at all. So it's really helped me lock in this year and these 2 months leading up to the NFR. I guess we're down to about 6 to 7 weeks now. So just remembering that last year didn't go the way we wanted, and that's what helps me get up every morning, get in the practice pen, and just try and get better.
So I know we've probably talked about this before, but obviously, you're from East Texas. What is kind of your why headed off of this season and now into the NFR this year?
Yeah, it's what I've always dreamed of doing. I've dreamed of doing this for a living, and now it's here. So I just want to take full advantage of it, not take anything for granted, and just enjoy life, enjoy making a living, doing what I love, and I think that's what wakes me up every morning.
So, also this week, I did see that PRCA and NFR had posted, a list of the bulls and so many people that were roping and kind of getting into that competition mode of, seeing what's going to be there. Are you excited?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. I'm very excited. With the calves we get to rope, we should be going through them here in the next 3 weeks. So, it's always exciting to see the calves we'll get to rope and go and prepare them. And yeah, it seems like a long ways away. It's still, I don't know the exact days, but I know it'll come quicker than what we think. So I'm just trying to get prepared.
Oh, yeah. And, this year has kind of flown by. Do you feel like the season has flown by for you as well?
Yes, ma'am. It seems like it always does. It seems like you're at Houston, and to me that's one of the best ones of the year. There in March, I love Houston, but it seems like you're at Houston, and then get home and preparing for the summer, and next thing you know, you left for the summer and you're home, and it's time to start the next year. It always flies by whenever you're having fun.
Well, speaking of having fun going to NFR, what would you say is your biggest takeaway from the past few years competing? And I guess your favorite part?
I would say my favorite part is just the feeling of the electricity in the Thomas and Mack. I think it's 28,000 people, and it's a tiny coliseum, and it's real like all the stands go straight up, so everybody's like on top of you, and the music and the fans, and I mean, there's nothing that compares to the electricity you feel in that building, and if that doesn't make you want to rope calves, I don't know what will. So that's just I know that feeling. I know what it feels like. I know what it feels like to succeed there. I know what it feels like to fail there. So I've got to feel every emotion inside that building, and we're just striving to, just get back in there and do some winning.
Well, Kincade, one last question here. Are you going to have your family there to support you for the National Finals Rodeo this year?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. All my family will be there. My wife, my parents, my grandparents are getting to come out. So it'll be an awesome time.
Awesome. Well, Kincade, thank you so much for joining us. I am really excited to see you. I'll be at the NFR too. See you rope and compete and kind of be there in that mode. It'll be a pretty fun time for the NFR.
Yes, ma'am. I appreciate y'all having me on.
All right. Thanks.